Former Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed hoping to raise money this week at his birthday. Today, we obtained a copy of an invitation to former Mayor Reed's 52nd birthday celebration planned for this coming Thursday. The invitation, paid for by Kasim Reed for Atlanta, does not say how the money will be used, but has different contribution amounts listed. He has been very vocal about Atlanta's rising crime rate and how crime was handled during his tenure as mayor. Despite speculation, he has not confirmed whether or not he will be running for a third term as Atlanta's mayor.